Nigeria today cannot leave the Islamic organization country. Why? Because it is a sin. The biggest sin against Islamic principle is for you to renounce your membership as a person or as a state. Let us watch this video of an atheist in Kano State who renounced Islam and then started speaking against it, and who was in prison for 25 years. Let's watch it together.
After 4 years in prison on blasphemy charges, Mubarak Bala, a prominent Nigerian atheist and religious critic, has been released.
Everything is new to me.
Mubarak is well known for his criticism of Islam and religion in general, which he frequently shared on social media. A controversial Facebook post in 2020 outraged many and led to his arrest after a group of lawyers filed a complaint with the police. After 2 years in prison awaiting trial, Mubarak was convicted of insulting religion with the intent of breaching the peace, an offence under Section 210 of the Kano State Penal Code. He was sentenced to 24 years in prison after pleading guilty to 18 counts against him. Mubarak's legal team say they believe he's still in danger, so he's being housed in a secure location, where he has his first meal as a free man.
Will you join me? I've missed all these things.
Mubarak's release comes months after his sentence was reduced, after an appellate judge ruled his original sentence was excessive. So there's a lot of secrecy around your release, and a lot of precautions have been taken by your team because there are concerns that there might still be people out there trying to harm you. Are you concerned about your safety?
The freedom is here, but also there is an underlying threat that I will now have to face. Probably all those years, those threats are only maybe they're out there while I'm here under some security system.
This arrest and detention sent shockwaves across the world and sparked a fierce debate about freedom of speech. For atheists and humanists in Nigeria, his release has been a relief.
Generally, for me, it's thanks and no thanks. Thanks that he is out, thanks that he's a free man, but no thanks because there is still that dent on him as if he committed a crime.
Mubarak Bala has now extended his predicament, has extended beyond Kano State into Oyo State. Just yesterday, less than 24 hours, an Oyo Christian convert who used to be a Muslim converted to Christian, who has now decided to do away with everything Islam in his life. He decided to burn his rosaries, he decided to burn his garment, and then he decided to burn his book of Islam, was arrested by the Nigerian security forces. Was being arrested by DSS yesterday in Oyo State, is saying, to be precise. It is said that it is a criminal offense when you insult religion in Nigeria. But yes, in the north, we have the northern leaders who has been looting, who has looted the future of the children, who has looted the lives of unsuspecting citizens in billions, right? In billions. Allegedly, Yaya Bello of Kogi State, who was alleged to have stolen nothing less than 100 billion, Shariah never caught up with him. In same Kano State, Kaduna State, Katsina State, down to Zamfara, Bello Matawale was alleged to have looted a lot of money too. But how come this Sharia does not come into play on this grievous criminal act? Just because you renounce, because you say you do not believe in religion anymore, because you say, I am now a Christian, or I am now an atheist, I want to be a free thinker who has the capacity to criticize that religion, the Nigerian security arm will come pick you up and then take you into the gallows or imprison you. Never ever seen where a Christian who converted to Muslim getting arrested by the Nigerian police. Never ever seen a traditionalist, okay, who converted to Christian or to Muslim, who got imprisoned. Somewhere around Southeast recently, a priest, I think a Catholic priest, off his veil, off his clothes of priesthood, and he said he is fully going into traditionalism. We haven't seen the Catholic churches, we haven't seen the members of the Catholic church he actually, worship, to call for the Nigerian police, or to call for the DSS, or to call for the religious, protective forces to go pick him up and imprison him. We haven't. The only place that you see such barbaric, archaic attitude, of course, is in the north, where has been institutionalized, it has been constitutionalized, it has been made official that you as a Muslim, if you leave your religion and then you start speaking against Islam, they term it insult against religion, they term it blasphemy. I mean, look at that video. That young man would have spent nothing less than 24 years, if not because of a change in power. If not because the current government of the day is more liberal than the previous one. Because this guy was actually jailed under the former President Buhari, who has been popularly called an Islamic fundamentalist, who has been popularly called by the Nigerian people an Islamic extremist. Because this case of that Mubarak guy would have crossed his desk. He saw it, he probably just pushed it aside. And it wouldn't be the first. Now today in Oyo State, precisely in his saying, a young man who converted got arrested because he burned his former book of religion. They are taking him down over to maybe Abuja and probably sentencing him to only God knows how many years. How does this affect the economy? How does this it is said that the Nigerian contraption is being governed, stealthily, covertly, by the Islamic rules and laws, because it has now been identified and it is now indicative that whenever people try to speak down on a certain religion that is predominantly practiced in the north, the court of justice of the day sort of swings into action when you try to question a certain religion. Islam, when you try to question that religion in Nigeria, maybe in terms of your evangelism, if you go to the north, a young woman, a redeemer, had her head off because she was in Kubwa in Abuja some years ago, because she was just preaching openly. Yesterday I did a video about this Islamic extremism, how the Islamic fundamentalists got this order from state-sponsored politicians that all churches should be demolished across all the northern states. It got to a point that there was no single church, and I think it's still in existence today. There is no single church in all the 12 to 13 core northern states capitals. You have to just they designated an angle, probably a bush part, for Christians to have their churches to pray and worship, so that whenever anything happens, they know where to go and pick them up and then maybe unalive them, whatever the case may be. So it is now evident that in Oyo State, the Sharia forces and the laws is now fully getting implemented. This is the south now, not the north. And this is a serious danger. A situation whereby if I can convert from Christianity to Islam, I can become a Muslim today and start talking down on Christian. I can start talking down on their beliefs. It is what we call a free state. It is what we call a free nation. It is what we call democracy, where there is freedom of speech. A religion shouldn't be supreme. a religion should not be recognized in the constitution above other religions. There should be that religious equity. There should be religious equity. These are the things that bring equity, justice, and fairness in terms of religion, in terms of ethnicity. So we can see that screwing that's already going on. And this is why so many people will say that Nigeria, as it were, is an Islamic state. Because first and foremost, it belongs to the Islamic organizations. Secondly, everything that has to do with Islam is highly protected above all other religion. Okay? And thirdly, the Christian ticket can never happen in Nigeria. The Christian ticket, just as we have a Muslim ticket today, where majority of the Northerners follow through, right? You cannot have a Christian ticket. These are the unfair incidents happening in the country. And then I ask, where are the religious Christian leaders? Are they only after the tithe and offering of their members? Are they not after the conservatism of Christendom? Let me quickly go into the comment sections. When this guy that we saw his video at the beginning, let us see what people were saying. This is right on social media. They said he is a Muslim and it is not allowed to renounce religion. This is the word of an Islamic fundamentalist. And he was questioned. They said, why is it not allowed to renounce? Is it by force, or is this religion a cult? He said, well, that is the principle. And every Muslim knows that it is the right way. Right? Now, you can see now that this juncture that we are as Christians being trapped in the Nigerian system, the only way out might seem to be a separation, a total divide on religious lines. Because if any president comes out today and says we have to be fair to the Christians in this country, let us ensure the Nigerian government either pulls out from the Islamic organization so that we now become a fully known secular state, right? Or we also join the Christians organizations nations. I mean, we have so many Christian nations in the world. We have the likes of Denmark, Norway. We have them all like Finland. Most of these Nordic nations are Christians-driven nations. Now, let us join them. Let us begin to enforce the laws of Christianity, of Christendom. Let us also involve it into the constitution, or is that we involve in it? Either we want inject the Christian principles into the Nigerian constitution, or we pull out the Shariah recognition that is currently being done in the Nigerian constitution today. You will see the level of outbreak. I mean, these Northerners are ready to kill for religion. They are ready to go after people who speak against this religion instead of going after those that are stealing them dry, looting their money. This is how much religion has brainwashed. This is how much religion has been used to manipulate and keep them into docility. The other day I saw a video where an imam, a prominent one for that matter, was saying no matter offense a Muslim commits, he is a superior being above other people who is non-practicing Muslim. It doesn't matter if he goes out there and commits murder. It doesn't matter if he goes out there and commits manslaughter. It doesn't matter if he goes out there and commits what we call a grave corrupt practice. For as long as he's a Muslim, you will forgive him because Allah will forgive him. I mean, these things are just ridiculous. These statements are way how they just whitewash the corrupt leaders that we have in the north. This is why you see them immediately they are done with their tenure, after they might have looted that state dry. The next thing is they go into the worship place, build a gigantic worship center, and then everybody in that locality, everybody in that state will see that worship center as a great dividend. They take it, they forget about what he has looted. They forget that they deserve a functioning hospital. They forget that they deserve a functioning educational system. They forget that they deserve a functioning security apparatus and infrastructure. They forget that they deserve an effective public transport network system. And then you wonder, every goddamn day these northerners are migrating to the south. They migrate down in their big lorries. They load them with cattle and goats, and then they come here for economic prosperity. But when you now question them, why is it that you guys do not question your leaders back home? Why is it that you guys are so highly inclined and too sentimental towards your leaders because of religion? They say it is the teachings, it is what the principle of our religion entails, that you are not supposed to question your leaders, provided they are Muslims. Whatever they do, Allah will be the judge, because if we do it, we are going against the principle. I mean, this how can this country move forward? And why wouldn't the agitations like Oduduwa Republic, agitations like what's it called now? Agitations like Biafra, why wouldn't it happen? Why wouldn't such agitations, why wouldn't they happen? Right? Why would such agitations happen? And these are the issues. These are the issues we've always had. That the country cannot be run like this if we call it a federal republic. Let everybody have their regions. Let everybody have their principle. Let everybody draw the line of their borderline. Let it be clearly stated that from Borno to Zamfara or Sokoto, if you cross the line, we are now fully into a Sharia governed state. And as a Christian, if you come here, if you're Messian, you'll be dealt according to our local laws. Let it be clearly stated. Those false arguments that if you're a Christian, it will not affect you. But Christians are questioning your religion, and they are being affected, they are being judged by non-Christian laws. So it has to be clearly stated. We have to get to that point that when you are within this territory of these 12 to 13 northern states, you don't speak, you don't evangelize, you don't preach, and we don't want one single church, then every northern Christians will see that, accept it, and either debate it in the court of law, or they just move to a place that is tolerant, that is religious tolerance. Because when we do not set the line straight, when we do not set the record straight, confusion will remain the order of the day. And it is the unsuspecting and innocent Christians, innocent non-Muslims, the innocent traditionalists who are paying the supreme price.